name is Violetta, and tonight is the second night we are going to read from the book The Power of Purity by Mohanji. Tonight we are going to talk about the shift and relativity. And for those of you who never heard about Mohanji, I will just quote what he said when asked who he is. He said, "I am what you are. As you see me, that's what I am. It depends from person to person." So now I'll start reading the shift. The shift. The changes are accented due to impending shift. It is not only changes in the realms of physical earth, but also the emotional, spiritual, as well as economical earth. Insensitiveness, greed, barbarism, cruelty, sadism, and all such negative aspects of our existence must pave the way to unconditional love. This is the shift. This is a shift of consciousness. Sometimes we need a very hard push to wake up. We all are in the slumber of unconscious existence. Most of our activities pertaining to our body, mind, and intellect are controlled by our subconscious. Our conscious mind is regenerate. It wanders all the time. It aids the senses. At the same time, it does not stay with one sense all the time. You can only use one sense at a time effectively. There is no such thing as multitasking. It means only an increase in speed of action or lesser attention per action, thought or word. We can fully consciously engage only in one action at a time, with a firm presence of mind. The more we do it, the more we will exist in the present. The more we hand over the subconscious control activities to the conscious mind, the more we stay out of habits. The lesser the unconscious activity, the more we will be in the present. The more we are in the present, the more we evolve into the being level. So it's not the activities such as meditation or pranayama per se that equip you to handle the shift. It is conscious achieved through these methods that helps. Nobody knows the depth of 2012 shift as yet. There are many speculation. Trash all that. Get into being level. Reduce unconscious actions. Do everything with awareness. You will shift into the being level. This shift will take you through the shift. There will be lesser anxieties and fears which are steamed out of the oscillating mind. When you develop equanimity, there is no tragedy. It does not matter what happens outside. We will be firmly established on the platform of universal love. We will be operating on an objective basis. No expectations, no frustrations. This is what will help in the shift. Increase the quantity of water due to global warming and waterborne disease could wreak catastrophe and submerge some islands of the world. The increase in frequency or the possibility of polar shifts could jeopardize the entire communication system, electricity, and technology. We could feel quite helpless. The kind of helplessness that a war-affected generation might have felt, minus the hope for improvement in the future. So beingness is in the key. Stay objective in the way. Now we are going to talk about relativity. So the question was, why is there so much negativity in the world? And Mohanji answered, negativity is primarily in the minds of man. We only see its external expressions in the world outside. There are only dualities in the world. Dualities are essentially expressions of relativity. Relativity expresses itself as duality. If there is no high, there is no low. If there is no tall, there is no short. If there is no white, there is no black. So on and so forth. So dualities define our relative existence. Positiveness and negativeness are interdependent. One cannot exist without the other. They coexist. Our existence is also relative. We are taller than, we are richer than, we are more intelligent than somebody else, we are better than, etc. There is always something relative to compare with. This is expressed and defined more clearly in relationships. In relationship to the daughter, he is the father. In relationship with that woman, he is her husband, etc. Relationships are also expressions of relativity. Relationships have come out of relativity. So if we understand relativity and relationship along with the dualities that make it tangible, we will understand the basic fabric of our terrestrial existence. Dualities are neither good or bad. Relativity is neither good nor bad. Everything just is. There is no comparison because the absence of one is relative absence of the other. What we call good and bad is essentially the judgment of our conscious mind. When we sleep, this faculty of judging something is absent. So in reality, everything is only an experience. The experiencer, using the tools that he possesses, such as body, mind, intellect, senses, ego, etc., experiences some thought, word, or action and decides based on his conditioning whether the experience was excellent, good, bad, or ugly. The experienced, the experience, and in a certain way the experiencer have nothing to do with it. Everything is momentary and relative. This judgment or impression of an event gets registered in our subconscious mind. This data is stored in our hard drive. And similar situations get judged in similar ways, even if they are drastically different. Mind refuses to accept changes. This creates fears and uncertainties. Thus, subconscious mind churns out one's realities. Familiarity also breeds monotony. Man craves for changing. Thus, results are plenty. Billions of expressions are possible in relationships. The choices in creating thoughts, words, actions, and events are many. So positive and negative are part of our existence. We call the shots. When we stay objective and neutral as a witness, nothing will affect us. We will look at everything as Maya, illusion, or the play of the god. It's a grand opera. There have no heroes. There have to be heroes and villains, the beautiful and the ugly. The actors may not be aware of the depth of their own character or the characters of others. Those who watch the show can only make judgment based on what they perceive or their individual level of understanding. Even that could be untrue because each person operates from their level of awareness. So relativity is the key and unity is the solution. Being one with the Father or Parabrahma will dissolve dualities and relativities. This state is Sat Chit Ananda, eternal bliss state. That's where our soul started the journey. That's where our soul will eventually end its journey once it's done with the eternal birth and death cycle. Hence, paying heed to soul is essential. For this, we must go beyond our role play. We must stay with the only truth which is of permanent nature, our soul. Everything else is temporary and relative. Just flow through impermanence, unaffected, and be with your soul. And keep remembering that relativity is the biggest gift that God gave Himself. Relativity gave Him the executional power in creation and billions of options to play with. We also have the power, but duality conceals it. Non-understanding masks it. When we shift into being level, through spiritual practices, we express it and experience it. We become one with the Creator and assume all His powers. The whole duality within us dissolves and transforms into unconditional love, universal love, and unselfish existence. We see only ourselves in every being. We will never harm any being through our thoughts, words, or actions. Hence the real and only worthwhile journey into ourselves. There is nothing else to go. So this was for tonight. Tomorrow we will start reading the present time and so on. So thank you very much for listening this.